Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Viewsonic 10-inch G tablet. As you guys probably know, I've purchased several tablets over the course of the last year or so. This is actually the third one I've bought. The previous two were 7-inch tablets that just didn't quite meet the specs that I was interested in. They were a little bit cheaper in price. This one actually, the retail price on it is $400, but I managed to pick it up on woot.com for $280 shipped, I believe. So it was a much better deal for a 10-inch tablet. Let's go ahead and look at the specs, and that will give you a little indication as to why I think it's a bit of a better deal. If you look at the specs here on the box, it's running Android 2.2, okay. 10.1-inch TFT screen instead of the 7-inch of the ones I've had before. NVIDIA Tegra 2 1 GHz chip. That is the kicker for me right there. Dual-core processor, built-in 3D GPU, excellent performance. It's actually the same processor used in the new Motorola Xoom, which is selling for $600 for a very similar model. This is a 512 meg of memory. I believe the Xoom has 1 gig, so a little difference there. 16 gigs of built-in storage, where the Xoom has 32. Not a huge difference unless you're using that much storage. Let's see, built-in audio with 2 speakers, microphone built-in, webcam built-in. Does not have a rear-facing camera. That's not a huge deal for me, but I can see it being an issue for some people. Like I said, 1.3 megapixel front-facing cam, 3650 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery with up to 8 to 10 hours of battery life, estimated, mixing through some different things. So let's go ahead and just break it open. You see here on the side we've got the Tegra, the Android Flash, all of the little components and features and things like that. But we'll go ahead and open this up. Now while I'm opening it, the key thing, the thing that most people I've heard about, have complained about, is the built-in software. It's running Android 2.2 of course, but it's running a custom UI called Tap and Tap on top of it, or Tap and Talk. I can't remember offhand which one it is. Yeah, it's slow, it's buggy, it's not great. Let's see, we've got a little cleaning cloth that came with it, whole packet of information here, warranty card, probably a small user manual in there. We pull this on out, we've got the device, decently thin and lightweight. We'll push that to the side for a minute while we look at the rest of the contents of the box. Pull out all the rest in one big hunk here. There we go, if I can open this up, sorry. We've got a power brick and a US adapter for it, which is perfect for me. Then the other side, that thing's empty now. It goes to the proprietary plug from the power. Yes, this is one of many of the new tablets that will not charge over USB. You have to have the actual wall charger to make it charge. Not a huge deal in my opinion, because I do keep a charger right next to the bed. Then you've got the I can never keep that straight. Mini USB, or is that micro USB to traditional USB port for data syncing, and I guess that's about it. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the tablet itself. Decently nice sleeve there. Not the cheap styrofoamy based one that I'm used to from some other tablets. Alright, and there you go. It's definitely got a glossy screen to it, but yeah, I mean that's actually becoming commonplace with a lot of them now. I kind of expected it to have a sellotape or tape of some sort cover protector on it, and it just doesn't have that. Hey, look, there's me and my camera and my mic. But we've got the 4 capacitive buttons down the side here, an actual capacitive screen instead of the resistive screens I've seen before. Here on the side, we've got a power button. We've got the flip back, not too difficult to flip back, micro SD storage and USB host, like an actual, you can plug in a keyboard, a mouse, or I believe a USB thumb drive if you're so inclined. You've got the USB guest port, the one where you hook it up to the PC. You've got your speaker, 3.5mm headphone jack, proprietary charging port. Here on the bottom you have the proprietary docking port, which actually there's supposed to be a dock coming out, but I guess Viewsonic has sort of abandoned the idea. There is one available you can get from eBay for about $40 to $60 that allows you to hook up through HDMI and LAN and USB and a bunch of other stuff. Here we also have a small microphone itself, I guess, over on the side, another stereo speaker, and along the top the volume rocker. That's about it. On the back you'll see here no camera or anything, just G tablet by Viewsonic through US merchants. Here's the little information on it, power consumption and such. Well, let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, here on the front, we've got the camera here in the middle, I would assume, and then the ambient light sensor on the side. But let's go ahead and try to turn it on, just see what happens. Might work, might not. I'll have to lean it back a little. Okay, had to move just a little bit there. I had to plug it into the charger. Apparently the battery is completely dead. But this is the initial startup screen. We had the Viewsonic thing there that showed up for just a second. You probably can't see it just because of the angle, but there we go. We've got the charging light that's on. It said tap and tap there for the interface. Let's see if I can get, sorry, moving the camera there. There we go. So this is the classic home, not what I was expecting at all. Apparently on the newer tablets they completely did away with the tap and tap interface by default, and they've gone entirely with this this classic interface, which is great in my opinion. However, if you'd like to see the custom tap and tap interface just to see what all the fuss was about, you can, I think, click this button in the top corner. And a second later I'm back. I had to do a little bit of looking around to figure it out. There's apparently, you can get to the tap and tap interface if you really want to use it. There's a button right over here. It's got this little funky looking icon with three squares on it. If you hit that, this is the tap and tap interface. You see we've got weather by default. This almost reminds me of something you put on a nightstand to use as a clock, or to use as a, like you see a weather widget here. If you scroll between, you can go to different environments. This one is pulling up some to-do lists and stuff. Not as slow as I really expected, because all the complaints I've read about it were talking about how horribly slow this was. It's loading up the first time right here. And we're back to weather. But then you've got all these items across the bottom you can look at. You've got this little, I guess, list of applications you can go through. Angry Birds did come preloaded. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the battery. It does show 0% charged, so hopefully the battery in this is going to work for me. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to the classic interface, which I do by hitting more and then hitting classic home. There we go. We're back with our live wallpaper and scrolling between home screens. We don't have the pinch to zoom out like you would expect, but a lot of phones, a lot of devices don't do that at this point. There's your app launcher. Hit it too many times there. Actually decently fast there. Settings. And this is actually a custom tap and tap settings interface. Turn on Wi-Fi, screen brightness, you can set there, auto brightness if you want to. Battery still says 0%, that's really disconcerting. Let's see, sound, display, family. Yeah, you've got all sorts of settings over here. Just in case you're curious, we'll go to About Tablet, shows model number, the Android version, tap and tap UI version, kernel version, build number, all of that fun stuff. So basically my out-of-the-box first impression, it's actually not as bad as a lot of people were giving it flack for being. Let's see if we can do widgets on the... Oh yeah, we can do shortcuts and widgets and wallpapers. Not a whole lot of widgets out of the box, but again, these are things you can add. It's Android. Let's see about different wallpapers, if it comes with any. Wallpapers, live wallpapers. We do have the Nexus wallpaper out of the box, so that's pretty awesome. That's the standard one that came with a lot of the older devices. And it does perform very quickly, and the device itself is maybe even a little speedier with that. So anyway, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to see how tap and tap feels for me. I'm going to see if my battery actually works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be more than a little bit disappointed. If I'm not terribly happy with tap and tap after a few hours or a day or so, I might take a look at some of the other custom ROMs that are available, because there are at least a half a dozen to a dozen that are very easy to install. For now though, just wanted to give you the first look at it. I will say, holding it at this angle, it's a little bit heavy, but it's a 10-inch tablet. You kind of expect that. I would normally almost be holding it like this, which is a whole lot easier. You see I've got my hand under it. Still a little bit of a strain on the arm if you're holding it out. But for now, just wanted to show you the device, show you how it works. I'll put an annotation or a comment in the notes letting you know whether or not the battery actually does end up charging. So far, oh look, it does say 1%. So it's charging, it's just completely dead. So I'm going to take this to work and plug it up and mess around with it and see what I can do. But for now, initial impressions, very happy. Like I said, I'll update you with some more information later, maybe even a final review. If you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. Where I ordered this online, there's not really any sending it back or anything. So that's about all for today, though. Hello from me in the reflection, and I will see you next time. Hello again, guys. I thought I'd give you a quick update on the status of the tablet after having used it for the majority of the evening. You might notice there it looks a little bit different from how it did earlier. I'm actually running a different ROM on it at this point, but you'll notice, there we go. have to swipe a little bit to get it going because it is a larger screen than I'm used to, but running ADW launcher on it. I've only got 3 screens, but very, very quick, very slick. Got a lot of features, a lot of functionality I didn't have before. All of the Google apps are working. This is actually the gADAM ROM. So this is just one of the reasons why I was so interested in this tablet. Let's see if I can find the home button over here. There we go. You see I've got options now. Choose the different home screen. And here in just a second, yeah, that, if you aren't familiar with it, is the traditional launcher for the Notion Ink Atom, which is a relatively new tablet that's been out for a little while. Fully available on this one and runs pretty well. I don't know a whole lot about Notion Ink Atom other than I like the launcher. It's sort of a hybrid between gingerbread and honeycomb as far as functionality. You can actually take some of these launchers out and make panels out of them. Very cool. But because I do have it set up this way, let's see if I can do this blind, I can go back and forth between it and ADW launcher seamlessly and still lose no functionality, no performance hits or anything. So after using this for a little while, I have a couple of complaints, and they're really not big deals. The first one, which is the one that everybody's complained about, is the screen viewing angles. And like I said, you're looking at it straight on right now, it looks great. They're still viewable. A little bit farther, it starts to get a little bit negative, and as you go farther and farther, it, of course, is not really viewable anymore. But still, if you're viewing it from about this angle up, so about 45 degrees or higher, which for a normal person, if you can see it, yeah, I'm at about that angle and still very comfortable to view. Straight on, of course, very clear, very bright, very easy to view. I watched a movie on this earlier, or part of a movie, and very, very well done. Excellent performance. And the other issue I have with it, which is actually an issue with this specific tablet, is there's a little dot on the screen. It's right about there, and you're probably not going to be able to see it. It's a little teeny tiny white dot. It's not a dead pixel though, because if I turn the screen off, that's still there. Again, you might not be able to see it, but there is a little teeny tiny dot there. It's under the top layer, but above the actual touch surface. I don't know. It's something that I'd read online. You're supposed to be able to peel off another layer of this touch surface, but I don't want to risk it. So if you do know anything about that, let me know. You'll probably also notice there lots and lots of fingerprints. I've done a lot of wiping this down because I have been using it heavily. While you're looking straight on, you don't see the fingerprints though, which is very, very nice. But if you've got any sort of light bouncing off of it, yeah, you're going to see a lot of fingerprints showing up there. But basically, my initial review, my one-day review of it, which I might expand upon in the future as I try more ROMs out, I'm very impressed so far. Dual-core tablet, excellent performance. Video playback worked very well. Flash playback worked very well. This ROM I've got on it actually has Flash 10.2 on it, so awesome. As I mentioned earlier, out of the box, the built-in tablet UI it had and the Tap and Tap UI were okay. They weren't awesome, they weren't terrible. They were actually decently usable. I used them for a couple of hours while I was at work this afternoon, just browsing the web a little and testing things out. And then I said, okay, I want some stuff from the market and I want the Gmail application, so what do I need to do? I have to load a custom ROM. So I tried out Tap and Tap Lite, which is available on the XDA forums. And now this gADAM that I'm on, I think I'm going to try Vegan Tab later tonight, just checking out all the options, all the features that are available to see which one has excellent performance. The best performance is what I'm looking for. Which one works the best with all the Google applications, things like that. I might end up coming back to this Atom, the Atom ROM, because I do definitely like the Atom interface. It's just not what I'm accustomed to at this point. So when more panels are available, maybe, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point though. So far, extremely impressed with the tablet, very happy with it. I've heard a lot of people hating on it because of the screen. If you're viewing it from this angle, in most cases you're going to expect that it's kind of bad. If you're viewing from this angle though, it's really not that bad. Let's see if I can simulate that for you. Okay, got it straight on, sideways, and as you go sideways it really doesn't do the negative thing like it does this way. So even from that angle you can probably still see a lot of what's on my home screen. Anyway, I've been rambling on for quite a while now. This was initially just supposed to be an unboxing, but now it's become sort of a first review type thing. So I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for the G tablet, if you can find it for less than $300, it's a steal, I have to say. Compared to some other tablets in this form factor, most of them are in the $400 to $500 to even $600 range for Wi-Fi only. And to get a dual-core tablet with this nice of a display, even though you do have to be kind of straight onto it, and this kind of performance, for 280 bucks was really difficult to pass up, so I didn't. So I hope this was informative. Thank you so much for watching though, and I'll see you next time.